Hi, welcome to another episode of That's the Thing Accent Core Plus R. It is episode .79,
Yep, 79.
and it is July the
15th.
15th.
Yeah, I had to pull up my calendar to look at it.
I looked at my watch.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Drew.
Nolan should, well, I don't know. People show up. It's cool. He might be sleeping.
It's a relaxed pace around here.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
that authenticity.
Do you want to talk about Vampire Survivors now or wait until it comes up in the podcast?
You
Because
can
we
talk.
all know we're going to talk
I
about
haven't
it.
played the new update, so you'll have to say.
I'm still working on getting everything, like, but I want to do a quick talk about, like, so one of the arcanas, it's called Game Killer, and it stops your level progression, and instead all the chests you open have like at least 3 treasures.
Ooh.
So you pick Arca or Clerici, who start off with their like either Arca reduced cooldown, so lightning bolts are just constantly
Or
dropping,
that big
or
old.
Clerici holy water drops.
Yeah. That
And then
seems.
you just walk around and you pick up the silver and you pick up the left red doodad, but you don't pick up the gold ring or the right doodad,
Oh, of
because
course.
those are bad.
Yeah, like you only do that when you're going for like the 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 Laurel upgraded Death Killer.
Yeah, yeah. Um, but and then once you do that, then you go talk to the salesman guy, and if you're Arca, well, no, if you're either, then you just go ahead and buy a cherry bomb and some bone. And then you're just chucking all these bones, or you're just chucking some gigantic bones.
Good. Seems
And
fun. It seems like a thing I'd have to
it's
do.
it's a good run. It changes the game. It changes it, keeps it fresh.
Keeps it spicy, keeps it going.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I haven't been playing that because I've been trying to deal with Marvel Snap, the Marvel mobile card game.
so it's not like you're Thanos and you're snapping people out of existence.
Yeah, kinda, because it's pretty good. It's it's a weird game. I think it's good, but there are some very blatant problem signs I'm seeing, where it's kind of like like you see everything, like this is pretty good, but there's like some suspicious cracks in the foundation. There's a there's a couple little suspicious cracks, but the game is fun.
Cracks, microtransactions.
Well, that's one of them. Also, it is a quote unquote free to play card game, like all of them kind of are. Um, the
What
I
sets this one apart, Kevin?
oh,
Let's start there. What sets
okay.
this one apart from the others?
So what I
Besides a cast of fan favorite characters that the world knows and loves.
you get that sick white tiger. She's great.
The guy or the, okay, I was gonna ask the guy or the girl.
The girl white tiger. But okay, so Marvel Snap is, if you haven't seen it, it's basically you got. It feels okay. I'm sorry. I'll text me a little. Of all the mobile card games, this one feels the most like an actual card game. If that makes sense, because Magic is not like
So,
a card game, but this one kind of is. So basically, you
like
got
a poker card game or like a
yes.
trading card?
I think it's
Oh,
more like a poker kind of card game, not like a trading
like a
card game.
traditional card game,
Yeah.
not a trading card game.
Yeah, like I would
Interesting.
say it's like halfway between like Magic trading card game and actual like poker betting gambling game. I feel like if you're good at Marvel Snap, you would actually be pretty good at poker because there's some it does something really cool. So like the actual gameplay is it's 6 rounds. Basically, every card has like an energy cost, and you get as much energy per round. It's like round 1, you get 1. You can play 1 cost cards. Round 2, you have 2. You can play like 1, 2, or 2 1s, that kind of thing.
It's like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Hearthstone a little bit.
So your energy is always going to go up, and it's always going to end on round 6. So there's always 6 rounds. You can't go to time or whatever. And what you do is you play your card. Your card basically has a cost, like an attack, we'll just say a power, and sometimes they have effects. And you put them on 3 locations. So there's like 3 zones in front of you, and those zones will have effects too. So like one of them's like the Daily Bugle. On turn 6, you can put any card from any zone there. It's like you can play cards on one zone and then swap them over to the Daily Bugle on turn 6 for like some bluff play if you want to try to like move something over there to trick your opponent. And then there are other cards that are like I don't remember the name because they're all Marvel comic names. But one of them says, like, you can't play 1, 2, and 3 cost creatures here. You can only play big stuff. So, like, that's one of those where if your deck has a lot of little guys, then that one's going to be kind of like an auto lose. So you want to focus on the other 2. And that's kind of how the card game is played. It's fairly good. I enjoy it. It's quick. But the best mechanic of it, and the one that generates, I would feel, the most salt is the snap mechanic. Or you're saying something?
No, that's just you're picking up background audio.
Okay. So the snap mechanic, which is genius, and I hope more games implement it, is basically your rank in like your ranked stuff is determined by how many cosmic cubes you have. I think you get 10. Hi, Nolan. I'm talking about Marvel Snap.
Oh, yeah. How is that?
It's pretty good. There's some flaw. So to catch you up, I'm basically just describing how the game works. It's kind of it's kind of like Gwent, but faster.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you, I'm talking about the snap mechanic, the titular Marvel Snap mechanic. It's great because so your rank is determined by how many cubes you have. I think like you start off in the tutorial, you get to like 10, and I don't think you can go below 10. It's like 10 is your limit or whatever. There's a limit where like you can't go into like negatives. But you got your cubes, and if you win, you can get 2. If you lose 1. That's that sort of deal. But at any time, if you feel like you're doing good, you can hit the snap button and you could double or nothing. So in the middle of a game, if you think like on turn 5 you're going to win turn 6, you hit the snap button and now we're playing for 4. And if your opponent doesn't like that, they can just leave, and they can leave for 1. So but if your opponent thinks they're going to win, they can snap back for 8.
So you're going all in.
So you can. And it's
really good.
Oh, it's so good. But there's also always like a retreat button or like a fold. So like if you can at any time just bail for like, I think it's like you lose 1 regular and you lose like, it's always like the bail is less than losing regularly.
Yeah.
I think it's always like
You're
half. So like if the stakes are 4, you can just fold for 2. Or if the stakes are 8, you could fold for 4. But it leads, like I did get a rage quit where someone snapped at me too early, and then I got him for 8, and then they like the game, and I knew they rage quit because they like disconnected before turn 6. Like while it was the animations were playing, they're like, nope, turned off their phone. But man, it's great. I think more things should implement that. I want to see like in Street Fighter 6 in ranked mode where you can in between rounds that just comes up a little thing that says double or nothing. I want to see that. Or I think that's some spice. Or I don't know, you do like a best of 3 and like in between rounds, you want to double or nothing. I think that's That would add a lot. But the problem with the game,
It's best of 5, and then you double down and you win 2 matches in one.
yeah, or get double the ranked points. That's it goes up. If you lose double. You derank. But so the problems with the game, there are some slight problems. I think card acquisition, while good, is like a little slow and kind of obtuse. So
Yeah.
how you get what?
Still in beta.
Yeah, well, it's like in closed beta. I had to apply for it.
So it's even further removed from being fully released.
I mean, if you're like in like the Philippines or whatever, it's technically out.
Yeah.
It's one of those where like I think they're releasing it like overseas as like the soft launch, but over here they want it all ironed out.
Really, they're releasing it over there as the open beta.
Yeah. That's honestly because so the card acquisition is weird. So after end of every match, like the cards you play get experience or whatever, and you level up your cards in rarity. This does not make the card more powerful. It just adds more like visual effects to the card.
Oh.
So like your Nightcrawler levels up, and then his card looks a little bit more fancy. The art gets a little bit more.
Alex Ross painted Nightcrawler.
No, that's okay. So that's for the cash shop. If you want to get like your fancy Nightcrawlers, you gotta pay them money. And that I'm like, yeah, I get that. I don't have qualms with that because that's kind of like I'm expecting it.
That's where they make money, and that's how the game keeps running.
Yeah. Oh, well, yes and no, because what they're doing, from what I can tell, is you have like a starter battle pass, whatever. You do missions, you get cards, and then it goes. We hit the current, which is like the Thor set to tie into the new Thor movie. And the only way to get the Thor card is you gotta get that paid battle pass. So it gets that feeling of like, oh, you gotta pay for the battle pass to get the card. Now there's only like 2 cards in that battle pass. I think it's like Thor and Heimdall. And I don't know.
Is that Valhallen?
Yeah, Valhallen, the Viking god of rock, is also there. But you're kind of seeing where like I feel that this could get bad if one of those cards in the battle pass is like, yo, that's the good one. That's the current strongest card. You got to pay up for that money.
Yeah.
And then it's like, how do they do reprints of it? So what if like Thor's really good, but you didn't get access to Thor in like Battle Pass 1? Where does that go? Is that gone?
Yeah.
Or do you have to buy it? And that's one of those things.
He was a timed exclusive.
Yeah, you didn't have him. And and that gives me kind of like trepidations on it. Where I'm looking at, I'm like, I don't know, man. Because there doesn't seem to be a lot of card games. What they'll do is they'll have like a crafting system. So if you get like just for Magic, like Hearthstone has like dust. If you get duplicates, you get dust, and then like you can use the dust to craft cards you don't have. Magic just has wild cards that like, okay, I'm just gonna turn this into like a planeswalker or whatever. But this game doesn't have any of those. So I get the feeling like I haven't struggled. I haven't felt any pay to win stuff in there. But I have a suspicion that like it could come. And it could come really fast in this particular game.
Yeah.
I also have the feeling that like in terms of like Marvel Snap, it feels like at first I thought it was really smart because I felt like, okay, this is super generous with its stuff because it's just like get goodwill towards Marvel Comics and the Marvel brand.
Yeah, Marvel too.
Yeah, basically. And like, hey, we'll just put this out. People like it. So whenever we have our new whatever Marvel movie or TV show, Yo, you like White Tiger, right? She was a good card. That White Tiger function was pretty good. You want to see her in Marvel TV show? Eh? Eh? And that's kind of what I thought it was, but it's just that paid battle pass really rubs me the wrong way.
Mm.
And it's not like a Fortnite-y battle pass because like you have to buy it with like money. It's not like you're using the premium currency to buy it. It's like, nah, you gotta pay $9.99.
Oh, it's actual
for it.
cash.
You gotta slam $9.99 on that thing.
Mm.
And I don't know, but like in current like the free to play ecosystems, it's always like you can usually get the battle pass or whatever by playing in like Fortnite. That's how it works. You can play like 2 or 3 seasons of Fortnite, and then you can go, I'm gonna buy the battle pass with my V-Bucks for quote unquote free, and you could do it. Where this one's like, nah, man, $9.99.
Yeah, because it's also like it's rewarding loyalty,
It's
which
also
I think is equally important.
well, it's in those kinds of games. I don't remember what I said. I heard it, but it's one of those things like it was cynical but true. Where it's like if you're playing a game like that and you're not paying things, you're the product because
Yep.
you
Vinny
are.
Caravella says that all the
I
time.
think if Vinny said because it's like yeah, the whole point is you exist so that matchmaking queue exists. You want that Fortnite to always have 100 people in there. Or usually it's like 50 people and like 50 terrible bots to make some people feel good because they kill them. But it's like you need a large user base or else the whales won't play because why would they bother?
Yep.
So
There's other stuff, new stuff.
yeah, so that's
Rumbleverse.
I didn't play Rumbleverse because I was playing Marvel Snap and Monster Hunter. I got the master rank. That was cool. So you wanted to talk, Drew, about the wrestling. I didn't see wrestling. I don't know what's up with that.
So okay, I only watched the one match. So for those who don't know, recently AEW had a cross promotion event with New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh,
One of these
shit.
matches was Will Ospreay, current some kind of champ for NJPW, New Japan, and everyone's favorite, Orange Cassidy. And so that I think it is hard to do this show, like this cross promotion, because like creating storylines that people are invested in can't really happen so organically. Thankfully there are still some ties between the two, with like Kenny Omega being of New Japan popularity.
Yeah, like Kenny. Like, that's I knew like All Elite came Kenny Omega, which came from New Japan. So there's like
But so this match though does not have any, because I'm not super familiar, but I don't think Orange Cassidy. I think AEW is kind of like his first big pro wrestling gig.
yeah.
And man, he's such a good performer. And like Will Ospreay is a British hooligan heel. And Orange Cassidy is a goober.
Good.
Great. And like it's some real like intense like a lot of like almost tap outs, a lot of 2.9999s before they
that's
kick
good.
out.
Oh.
So I really recommend finding that match if you can.
I'm watching the opening of it, and I just see Orange Cassidy with his hands in his pocket, just
Yep.
stunting.
Yep, I love it. I love that he.
Oh my God,
He always just lays down and rolls into the ring under the bottom rope. He is as low effort as you can be.
Is it's the Cody energy from Street Fighter?
Yeah. Yep.
Man.
It's like a 30-minute match or something. It's pretty good. I recommend it. Otherwise, I've been watching a lot of Naked and Afraid because that's just been on the background of the TV at home.
Yeah.
And you'd be surprised at how many people will drink stagnant water.
Well,
and you will not be surprised at how many people get diarrhea the next day.
Well, that's what's gonna happen. Listen, you're naked, you're afraid, you're thirsty, you see a big old pool, and you get puddle. You go, that's good. Got some bugs in there. That's flavor. It's like boba tea. Except the boba.
Say the same thing. They're always like, "Oh, it tastes fine." Like, you can taste the microbacteria. That's impressive.
Listen, the boba, little boba tapioca balls. That's just it's just parasites, right in your gut. That's why you gotta boil your water. At least strain it.
Yeah, someone did like a really elaborate strainer where they had like bamboo and they stuffed it with like leaves and then rocks and then like charcoal from their fire, and it's like, yeah, I just made a filter.
Hell yeah, that's how that actually works.
Yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you could do that. I think that was, I remember seeing some, it was on the internet, like a science fair project where they did like homemade filter, and then they took like nasty water and they just filtered it through it, and they're like, yeah, here you go. It was one of those
That's a good project.
It was like, yeah, it works. And how we know it worked is because I did it very, very like elaborately. I didn't just put like sand and then pour it through it and then drink it and be like, delicious. It's like, no. This is how filters are constructed.
I did that at first and then wrote down, I felt bad and sick afterwards. Next time I put rocks and sand in.
So wait, are they dropped with like nothing at all? Or do they have like a few like tools?
So every episode they show up, like they're clothed as they're getting driven or boated or flown in, and then they like get out and they strip, and then they meet, and each one of the pair comes separately, and it's like, I picked this survival item, and then the other one's like, well, I picked this survival item. So you can pick like paracord, machetes, knives, hatchets, fire starter. And then each of them brings a pair, and then they get like some third item that seems like hunting specific, but I can't really tell. Like sometimes it felt like, here's a bow and arrow, and other times it's like, here's a machete, and it's like, I don't know how you're deciding what your third items should be. But then it's just naked with a bag, and the bag is there mostly so they can carry their own camera that they have to film stuff with and capture their mic audio.
Wait, they're not like a camera guy following them around or something? Or is there like cameras in the trees?
No, so there's a camera team, there's a production team during the day who are like told and like, do not help. Do not interfere, just record.
It's basically record. They're there, it's like record until like hospital arrives or whatever. It's like it's like it's like, you know, cameraman's gonna
record until they need help.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like someone shitting their pants like 30 feet away and you're just filming it.
Well, not their pants. Remember, they're naked.
Okay.
They're just rolling on the floor. On the forest.
They're just shitting themselves.
Isn't it something
at
I
night,
heard
though,
about like
at
naked?
night,
There you go.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I heard something. It was like a Naked and Afraid. It's always like the guy comes in there like overconfident and then always like fucks up immediately or something.
Yep.
Like every guy's like, yo, I can go in here. I'm gonna come in here with like the knife, and then they're just like dehydrated, dead, like 30 minutes in.
Like, if you want any proof that men are babies, watch this show because they're all babies. They're all like, I'm gonna show Mother Nature who's boss, and then it's like, I'm sick, I'm sunburned, ow.
Not gonna lie, think like I had the instant male idea of like, yeah, I could do that. Like, and I'm like, I know, I'm like, I physically and mentally know I could never do that. It would get real bad. But my brain's like, no, I could do it though. I could do it.
It's just 21 days.
Just no,
I could do it.
You take the fire. You take the fire starter. You get some fire. You get some berries. You just get do it. Just do it just fine. What's the big deal?
Give me some way to sanitize water, and I'm just gonna drink water for like
That's what
10
most
days.
people do. And then
It's so good.
so, but anyway, so like at night though, the camera crew, the production team leaves because they're like, I'm not spending my time out here. This sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But so, let me just give you some highlights from some episodes. So, it was like day 5 or something. This team managed to catch a snake.
Ooh.
It was like good size, and like they cook it, and they obviously catch audio. The like woman is like, okay, it's like, should we take it off now? And the guy's like, no, let's cook it a little longer just to be safe. It ends up a brick. It is inedible.
It's such a man answer.
No, I love it.
This same
No.
pair, just like day 20 or like 18 something, successfully catch another snake. They're like, okay, we're gonna be safe this time. We're gonna like smoke it. And so they build like a little teepee of leaves and stuff to help catch smoke and smoke it, and they burn their campsite down.
Yes. This is what this is.
Oh,
This is
fucking
good.
God.
I'm gonna let this show exist in my memory and not like an actual watching because I feel like watching it would make it worse because I'm only getting the highlights.
You know what? Like that feels like a good Monster Hunter background show. I might actually start watching that.
I think it is. It's a good background show.
I because it's
There's
that,
a great.
yeah. I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
it's the Schadenfreude of like because you always see people thinking like, yeah, I could do this, and then just immediate failure and misery.
Yep. And it's always the dude mostly. There's a great part where the woman partner, she's like, I just feel like you're condescending to me all the time. And he's like, you're crazy. I'm not condescending. And it's like,
Do they ever try
Why
to
did
make
you
clothes?
leave? He's just, oh man, there's just so many.
Honestly, you can't be a real man unless you're condescending to women. That's
Yep.
the rule.
Well, no, I mean the kind of person that would be condescending is the kind of guy that thinks he could survive 21 days in the wild with nothing.
With no problem.
With nothing, like yo, I could do it. Yo, I'd go out there. What I did Cub Scouts. We did
I keep
orienteering.
thinking because at some point, you know, like it's obviously unionized or like, you know, workers on the camera. It's like a film crew.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, they're just gonna have to like stop for lunch, and
Yeah,
the starving people are just gonna be looking at them while they're eating.
I think about that too.
What is the prize for this show?
Nothing. Nothing. If
There's
you
not even a
survive 21
prize.
days, you get nothing. You might get the chance to come back and do it again.
The surprise is you survive. That's the reward.
Wow, apparently at best, like I looked it up, you get
Oh.
compensated for your time.
Hmm.
Oh,
So it's kind of like, I guess
Oh.
it's like, yeah, if
Jury
you're out
duty.
there for 21 days, they pay you as if it was like a job or something.
oh God.
Yeah.
Probably like how jury duties, I guess, like if they go long, they have to pay you a bit because it's just like, yo.
I could literally. I'd rather work than like die in the middle of a forest.
No, okay, so the best part is they always like they give them like primitive survival ratings at the start of the show and then reevaluate at the end. It's whatever, some BS number no one cares about.
Oh no, I love
they
the
tell you
big
how much-
numbers.
But they tell you how much weight they lose over the course of it. And it's always like, Jane lost 15 pounds. Mike lost 47 pounds.
Well, because it's
I'm gonna assume like most of these people are like heavy. They're not like real heavy.
no,
No,
either,
they're
right?
not.
I would imagine every dude
Like your
you can
average
picture
American.
him.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
I imagine like you could picture the kind of guy because it's a self-selective thing. Like the kind of guy who goes, "Yo, I'm gonna go on naked and afraid. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be the guy that does it, and I'm gonna be like naked, and I'm not gonna be afraid, and all the ladies gonna see me, and they're gonna be like, damn, he has a big old PP."
Dude, I'm gonna
Who's
get out
not?
there and I'm gonna show nature who's boss. Okay.
Yep.
And then you hard cut to them being like, throwing up. Everything's leaving.
I don't get the deal. She just keeps picking coconuts. She's just obsessed with coconuts. Meanwhile, I'm trying to dig this hole to get fresh water, but she just keeps drinking coconuts. She's crazy. Oh, I got diarrhea from my well water.
Okay. I keep getting diarrhea, man.
Listen, I saw once in a book that these berries are edible. It's like, yeah, but you're not from this area. Yeah, no, but I'm pretty sure it's the same. I know for sure.
I'm not gonna eat no vegetables. That's for a wuss. I'm gonna go hunt my food.
I'm going to make a tiger pit, and fill it with sharp bamboo. All right, then I'm going to leave. Oh no, I fell into my tiger pit because I forgot where it was at.
I just want like the hard cut of the guy yelling, "I'm so hungry." He's like eating like a fern, like Littlefoot. Like not even
He's, like,
edible
eating
plants.
bark.
He's just eating like a leaf. I'm so hungry.
Oh,
Guys aren't even that far. It's exaggerated, but it's not that exaggerated.
That sounds pretty good. That's not like I think what makes it is that there's no prize. I think that's what makes
Yep.
the show. Because if there's a like Survivor, you get people going in there because they want that money. They want that million. They'll do the
Yep.
crap. But this is like, nah. There's not even a prize. It's just like, do you think you could do it?
You do it for the clout.
Yeah, it's not even. It's the high school equivalent of I bet you couldn't jump over that thing.
It's like, oh yeah, I can jump over 2 of them. And it's after you've seen a line of people try and eat dirt, and then you're like, but no, I can jump over it.
I don't know. I think there is something in the male psyche that thinks maybe I could do it. Cause I had that.
It's not maybe. It's I can do.
Yeah, I could do that.
I'll
Like,
be honest, I've thought it. I'm like, but I can do it. I'm not a stupid macho guy. I would be
Yeah,
smart.
listen,
my attempt.
I would take the correct things. I would be able to survive. Yo, I would be like, day one, I'm gonna make myself like a little pant thing, loincloth. So then I'm not nude. That's my number one.
That's what I don't get. So many. Okay. So first thing I'm gonna do is, as soon as I find out I'm on the show, I'm going to tanning beds and I'm getting like a tan.
Yeah,
As soon as I'm getting there, I'm making shoes out of something
yeah. Just
and like cover like how. I just don't know. I just don't know.
It's not like this is like the first round where people don't know of like the meta. I feel like the survival meta is well documented. Like you can, it's the kind of thing where it's I don't remember, it was in Snow Crash where they talked about how every guy in his 20s thinks they could become a kung fu master in like a year if they really tried.
Yep.
And I feel like this is that same kind of thing where
my
it's like,
God.
if I had like a year to prepare, I could go on Naked and Afraid and just ruin it. I'd be like, all right, step one, I'm gonna build like shoes. I'm gonna build like a fire, like a loincloth.
I was literally watching the fucking, what was it, the 16th Chamber of Shaolin, and like that like popped in the back of my head. I'm like, wait, no, I can't. I'm too old. I'd never do
No,
that.
you just walk in the steps that the monk before you walked, and you get through the sand trap.
and then someone from work like walked up and said, "Oh yeah, like I could totally do like stuff like that. I could definitely be like a Shaolin monk. That'd be awesome."
I'm saying there is this inherent masculine ideal of like, yeah, I can do that. Just, like what? Yeah, I can do it. It ain't hard. Well, you just like listen, like caveman survived out in the jungle. I can do it. Yo, I got like a TikTok. Caveman don't know what a computer is.
Please, like make like TikTokers or like Gen Zers do this show now, and then just see them like just fall apart.
I think that's the falling apart is what would make the show work.
Yep.
Like, because if it's not like the Bear Grylls where it's like, oh, now he's gonna take some celebrity and they're gonna eat like a bug or something. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Like, no, I want to see like, all right, you're out there and you get dysentery and then they have to like airlift you out. Like that's the real. It's when you're watching the Les Strauss Survivor Man and then like he fails several times and you're like, yep, that means it was real. He's like, yep, didn't get anything. I would have died. Now I have to radio back. And you're like, yep. Just it's my favorite reality TV show bit was from Les Strauss Survivor Man, where he did like a video thing and he was just saying, I had a dream where I was back home in a bed and then I woke up here in the mud and it's raining. And he's like, I want to die. I'm like, that's good.
Shit, after I finish Curb and the remaining seasons of Forged in Fire, I'm gonna like throw that on.
Oh.
That sounds great. Oh my god.
My dad and I have decided to add in a rewatch for dinner, a solid deep, because we finished Leave It to Beaver, so we needed another classic wholesome American family TV show, and we did find one that fits the dinner time perfectly, and that show is King of the Hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, that show's great. Like,
so good.
It starts strong. That's what I was surprised of, because I remember like King of the Hill getting good, but I didn't remember like it was good from like episode 1. Like,
I can't think of a point where it like really fell off.
No, I mean it. Like all shows,
there's some bad episodes.
There's always some bad episodes, and near the end it gets a little bit because it's like, but that's like season like 10 or whatever. It's like a long show. How many seasons of King of the Hill? I'm googling it. We're gonna fact check it.
Shit, I need to. Speaking of like Mike, I need to watch the Beavis and Butthead stuff too.
Yeah, so there's like 13 seasons of King of the Hill.
Yep, that sounds right.
So I can imagine like it kind of falling off on like season 12 or whatever. It's like I do not blame a show for falling off once it gets past like that many episodes. It's like, yeah, okay, you're forgiven.
They die a hero.
Yeah.
All right.
Also about dysentery, did you hear about Hungry Box?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Talking about throwing up and dying in the woods.
Yeah, dying. Oh,
Hungry Box shows that, the Smash community really is not hygienic.
See, I have a different thought about that.
That tops players are dunk asses.
So, no. Yes, but, okay, so here's my theory. So to set the scene, Smash Brother Melee player Hungry Box, vomited blood, had to go to the ER, and then came back for finals or whatever. Was it?
But he did withdraw. He actually did withdraw. I think it was after Twitter blowback, but he did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he did like a Twitter like, I'm sorry guys, I probably shouldn't have come to the crowded venue after vomiting blood and having to go to the ER.
Yeah.
So
well, at least he said he's sorry.
So my thought is that in Dark Souls, in the swamp in Dark Souls, in Blighttown, you get poisoned so you don't get toxic, right? You get a lesser poison, so you don't get the big one.
He's using it to defeat the smash thing.
Yeah. So is the
So
smash stink like the lesser poison? So like if you're not stinky, if the melee's like, all right, gang, it's too much, we gotta clean up, and then the real melee toxics, they're like throwing up blood and dying. So they have to smell to live.
It's like rocket power. The squid got the Fiji flu and was okay because he's always sick.
Ah. That's
But Rado and Reggie had to deal with the full-blown effects of the Fiji flu.
Oh man,
Rocket power.
this is great because this is now the ultimate level of shake my hand.
just vomiting blood, man.
Shake my hand. Shake my hand.
I
You gotta do. You have to do it now.
I just feel like once you have to go to the ER because you threw up blood. Like I'm calling it a day.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get it. I'm done. Yeah. So have you been throwing up any blood, Nolan?
Oh no.
Have you been naked and or afraid?
I wish. No, mainly the only like two big things I've been doing this week are like I got Psychonauts from a friend for like a discounted price, so I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll play that. And you know, good double
One or
fun
two?
game. 2.
Oh, I haven't played.
It's all right. It's honestly, don't worry about it. It's not that great.
Eh.
Okay.
That and then I finally got around to watching The Boys now that it's done.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the boys.
I haven't
We can
seen
say-
all of it.
We can
Okay.
save that. We can save that.
Oh, but I mean, you can just say impressions and stuff. Like, did you like?
Oh,
it?
yeah, no,
Did you
I-
don't like.
I know, no, yeah, I love it.
I think it finishes strong.
Just save.
Yeah,
the
solid
spoiler
ending. Herogasm. I think is still probably like the best episode.
I think Soldier Boy might be one of my favorite characters.
Oh, he's great. Ow! What are you doing?
Oh,
Soldier Boy's fantastic. I love the constant backsliding back and forth that Huey and Butcher are going through.
Yeah.
Because they start getting better and then they fall back and they start getting better again.
Yeah.
Especially Butcher. I love that the Deep is just getting worse and worse as
Yep.
time goes on.
the endless torment
just
of the
sucked.
deep is my favorite part
Just
of that show. I will say,
man,
like,
they really hate Aquaman.
like just every time the deep suffering makes me so happy. There's
Yep,
also a bit of
because
self-hatred because I think his name is Kevin, so I'm like, ennui. I'm like, yeah, that's how it'd be.
Oh man.
Maybe not
What
with
is
like the sexual assault angles, but everything else. That's how it would be.
There's a lot of shows that can't really handle like modern politics in their show, and I feel like The Boys is the only one out there that's doing it pretty good.
Yep.
That's good to hear.
Which
But,
is kind of funny because, like, Block International is not that different from Amazon.
Amazon.
Well, yeah, it's like you can see there's a lot of parallels and stuff in this show. You can see what they're into. Well, it's like,
Look,
yeah.
Jeff Bezos doesn't care what's making fun of him. He just wants the money.
There was some ad or something on like Amazon, I remember, where it was like, yo, I've been watching The Boys, now I'm gonna get this sweet Boys merchandise from Amazon.com. And I was like,
Don't know how I feel about that.
Did you like, like if you're saying, yo,
Were
I'm
you-
watching that Invincible, I want to get my Invincible Funko Pop or whatever, I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like, yo, I need that Homelander Funko Pop. Let's go.
There's a difference between I watch the show and I understand the show.
It's
Because a
like,
lot of people are there for boobs and violence.
it's like that It's like that old like tweet where it was like, "Behold, we have made the Suffering Engine from the classic sci-fi book. Do not make the Suffering Engine."
Yeah.
It's like, really?
Oh, yeah.
In related news, Elon Musk has decided he doesn't want to buy Twitter.
It was all a ruse game.
Yeah.
It wasn't that the hard drive owned him so much that he had to stop.
Struck him so hard. To see proof of this, go to elonmusk.org,
Oh man.
which leads you right to that hard drive article.
Good job. Don't
Great.
never pick a fight with people whose job it is to be funny and are funny.
Yeah.
Like if they're not
Yeah.
funny, you can do it. Like
Yeah,
you
it's
can
the easiest
fight
thing in
with
the
like
world.
the Saturday Night Live writers. They're not going to be able to fight.
Oh yeah, no,
They got
that's a
nothing.
layup.
Yeah,
That's
no,
easy.
but like if hard don't throw hands with hard drive. Don't do it. It's bad. They'll get you.
They'll tear you apart.
You
They'll smell blood in the water. They're coming.
they'll just keep going. And you'll lose. You will lose. Yeah, that's fine. Good
I love that.
ruse.
I also, for some reason, like there's a bunch of like weird shit coming out about Elon. Because now it's like, oh yeah, I've just had sex with a bunch of executives and they're having my babies.
Yeah, oh god, that's really
I'm like, what
yeah,
the
like,
fuck is
what-
going on?
Well, no. He's collapsing in upon himself.
Thank God.
I don't like. I guess this is because it's once again I don't have that billionaire grind set. But like, if I had $1 billion, I just would.
You mean narcissism?
Yeah. Well, no, I have a little
No,
bit of that.
Do you mean enough frivolous cash that other people's lives are your petty playthings?
No, I mean, yeah. If I had that much money, where other people's lives are my petty playthings, like I wouldn't care what people thought about me on Twitter. Like I would just be doing evil stuff. Like I'm like no, I'm just gonna make my own I'm gonna make my own death sport. Who cares? I'm gonna have like a barge in the middle of like the Atlantic, and I'm just gonna have people kill each other on it. What?
I'm gonna have the Baki arena.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Built
like on a
somewhere.
boat. I'm gonna hire all the killers. I'm gonna put them against all the fighters, and we're just gonna see who wins on my murder ship. Like
Seriously, no.
And
sensible.
then
one
invite
is-
all my rich friends.
Yeah, like sensible billionaire things. Like not like I'm gonna see what people on Twitter like me. It's like no.
Well, Kevin, unfortunately, most rich people are the crappy, evil rich people in Yu Yu Hakusho, and not the cool rich guy
Yeah.
from Yu Yu
Yeah,
Hakusho.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's. I guess this is part of lame cyberpunk. Where,
Yep.
like,
No one
yeah.
has the stones to invest in a portal to demon world
Yeah.
to let A and S class demons into the mortal world.
Where like I like if as a billionaire I co-fund like an entire TV show and writing staff to make fun of that one guy in high school that where like just ruined that man's life. Just completely ruination. I'm like, yeah, I'm a billionaire. I'm gonna spend $100 million to ruin your life, so everyone calls you like Stinky Man or whatever. I'm doing that. That's my petty horror.
Every person that's like slightly
Oh yeah,
slighted you.
yeah. The slightest. Like no, they're gonna be like some horrible comic book villain, like the Poop Man, and they're gonna be like, and then they're gonna say like, "Hello, I'm
It's-
the Poop Man."
Oh, what if you gave Chris Chan, a budget and some animators?
Well, I mean, this is me.
Oh,
as,
that's the YouTube channel that
Yeah.
Kevin said he really likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is Tamers 1 2 3 4 5. It's too
Gamers,
strong.
yeah.
It's too strong. The last one was Tamers 1 2 3 4 5. It's Sonic and his family go to the Chinese restaurant, the Chinese buffet, and oh boy, there's, it's so bad. Like it's that kind of like you're looking at it and like this is like 2004 Newgrounds like drawn together humor, where like Uncle Chuck imagines like a picture. It's Jackie Chan, but like it has like Tamer's like float valve, like kind of crudely photoshopped. He's like, "Yo, Uncle Chuck, you don't get in that fight. He's from China. He's gonna kick your ass." You're like, "Oh my god." It's so bad. I lost it. I had to pause it at several times. I love Tamers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is such an aesthetic. It's very strong though. I can only take. Also, in not that aesthetic, I've been having on like is his name like Noah Caldwell Gervais or whatever? Have you heard of this guy?
No idea.
No.
He basically just makes really long video essay kind of stuff about video games. He has there's like a very Plague of Gripes feel to him.
Oh yeah, the Soul Inheritors guy.
Like this guy. Oh,
Yeah, I remember seeing one of his videos about the Soul series.
Yeah, like he did. Yeah, he did that video is like where I watched it. Like that guy. It's like a 4-hour about it, and it's pretty good. His videos are very good. He talks about like Baldur's Gate and stuff. And he I would also say he is not that kind of like video game guy, even though he's talking about old PC games. That's like vaguely kind of racist. Like he's like, nah, his politics and opinions are good. It's one of those. Like that is always a risk when I'm getting into like role playing or tabletop stuff. I'm like, is this guy like a secret racist? And then you watch a couple videos like, and they're not. Okay, we're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are. Because you'll see
You
in
never
like,
know.
oh god, so it's aggravating because you'll see like you can smell it out when you've been watching some Magic the Gathering videos, and then you look at some guy, it's like feminists of woke cards, and you're like, oh boy, that guy's in the sidebar, and then you got to click on say, I do not like this kind of video. Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, you can make use of that function on YouTube whenever you start seeing.
I use it all the time.
Yeah,
Whenever-
that's right.
Whenever it comes up, you gotta stamp. You gotta teach that algorithm no.
I think YouTube hates me because I watch a lot of it on the home screen on my phone, and I don't unmute the videos as they autoplay. I just read the generated subtitles,
Yeah.
and then I'm like,
nice.
I think he's into wood turning, and then after like a week, I'm like, okay, don't recommend this content to me anymore.
Listen, I'm only gonna watch 3 videos about making like a house for ants or whatever.
I'm only gonna watch 3 videos about sleeping out in an airport parking lot in your van and not getting caught. I'm only gonna watch 3 of those, YouTube.
Yeah,
That's all I need.
Yeah, that's all. I'm good forever. You don't need like. Are you sure you don't want another one? I'm like, yeah. Listen, I'm good. You sure you don't want to watch this guy? You know, you watched one space video. I'm like, yeah, I did.
I'm pretty sure you want to watch a guy make a mud hut.
And then I want to watch the
3
video
hours.
that's like the debunking of that video.
Yeah.
It's like, he didn't really build that mud hut.
I want to watch both.
All right. Well, I gotta go.
Okay, later days.
Later days.
Remember, don't take the knife. You want to boil your water.
Yes.
Boil your water. It's a pretty good idea.
Take fire. Fire hot.
Fire keep you
Fire
warm.
hot.
Bye.
Later days.
Bye.